Hey, what's up, NBA fans? What's up, all sports fans? This is JB right here, host of the Behind the Bench podcast networking channel. Just want to give a shout out to the rest of the crew. I'm talking about Shad, Kelvin, and Jermaine. And for everyone who is tuning in, hope that you support Behind the Bench and become a subscriber and help the podcast become the best that it can possibly be. Check this out. Man, this is 2023, and we're going to take it back 31 years ago, 1992. 1992, and all season long, Sports Illustrated featured these two players on this cover during the 91-92 NBA season. I'm talking about Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler. And there was an edition of Sports Illustrated, and the title was Collision Course. And it showed Jordan and Clyde going at it. And all season long, the buildup was, because the previous year we saw Magic Johnson go up against Michael Jordan. Magic Johnson was the elder statesman. Michael Jordan was becoming the league's top dog, as they call it. But he had to win the championship to officially be called the game's best player. That's how it was back then. You had to win. Nothing was given to you. And Michael Jordan earned it. So, really, this matchup was a year after the fact, because many NBA experts and commentators predicted that the Portland Trail Blazers, who had the league's best record in the 91 season, 63-19, well, they got upset by Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, when Magic Johnson led the Lakers to an improbable victory in 6 games. So really, the build-up between Jordan and Clyde started in 91. But we finally got this matchup. Clyde Drexler was referred to as the Michael Jordan of the West, playing for the Portland Trail Blazers. They played the same position. Clyde was about an inch taller than Michael Jordan. Clyde came in at 6'7", Jordan was 6'6". And you had the two leading MVP candidates that season. Michael Jordan went on to win his second consecutive league MVP in 92. Clyde finished as the runner-up. So you had the best player in the league going up against the second best player in the league, trying to prove that he was the best. So here we go. We finally get the matchup. Man on man on. And contrary to what today's sports commentary is trying to convince the new generation of basketball fans, the Chicago Bulls were not favored in every finals that they participated in, or they competed in, or that they won. The Lakers were favored to win in 91 versus the Bulls. In 93, Chicago was given the advantage because of their experience. Yes, 96 versus Seattle, they was the favorite, but Seattle all season long was the second best team in the NBA. And the first matchup against Utah in 97, the Bulls were the favorite, although it was a very competitive series. But in 98, the Utah Jazz, in that rematch versus the Bulls, they entered that finals as the favorite. These finals here, the odds were practically even, because, truth be told, from 1990 up until 1992, Portland had the most talented and deepest roster in the NBA. But Chicago had the ultimate X factor in the entire league, in all the NBA, and at that point in his peak, all of sports, and that was Michael Jordan. So the anticipation was high. Both teams, you could tell, was nervous, but it was like, man, we finally finna see who's the best. And that was the beauty of the NBA prior to the super team era. Superstars went up against superstars. That's what made Jordan great. That's what made him legendary, because he beat 2 league MVPs in the finals. Magic Johnson is considered a Mount Rushmore player in NBA history. And then he faced prime Gary Payton, arguably the best point guard throughout the decade of the 90s. One of the best power forwards in basketball, and Sean Kemp, who was the best power forward that year when Seattle went to the finals. And then Clyde Drexler. Dream team, Conrad. So here we go. Game 1 of those finals. And what separated Jordan from everybody else, he always set the tone. He always rose to the occasion. Now, mind you, I was rooting for the Portland Trailblazers. You see what I'm saying? I respected Michael Jordan to the utmost, but I was not a Chicago Bull fan. I was a Clyde Drexler fan. So I wanted to see Portland win. But for those who got an opportunity and the privilege to watch Michael Jordan in action, and Clyde Drexler, like I said, he was runner-up to MVP. But immediately, Jordan set the bar so high, you saw the separation between the two players, just like that. In that first half, in game 1, Jordan hit every conceivable shot within the floor of the offense. He wasn't forcing the issue. And it all culminated in those 6 3-pointers he hit. Like, it's easy to go back in history and try to, be critical of how a player won and nitpick everything. But in real time, when it's live, and when you see an athlete, a basketball player, perform the way Michael Jordan did, he hit every conceivable shot in that first half. Pull-ups, transition, putbacks off of missed dunk attempts, bank shots, fadeaways, mid-range, double teams, triple teams, traps. He scored every conceivable way, which is why Portland decided to allow him to shoot that 3-point shot. But he hit 1, then he hit 2, then he hit 3. Then you knew something was special happening at that point. Then Chicago Stadium, the loudest arena in basketball, or Jordan would always say 18,676. That was the capacity crowd, 18,676 fans attending the games when it's a sellout. And Jordan went on, man, when he hit that last 3-pointer, as a basketball fan, it wasn't preconceived, it wasn't gemmed up, it wasn't manufactured, it was as real emotion as you can have as a basketball fan. When he hit that last 3-point shot over a Cliff Robinson, who was 6th man of the year, by the way, I said, you got it. I said, you got it. And it was so spontaneous, I said, you got it. You the best basketball player I've ever seen in my life. That's when you know it's real. He was playing so good, he made you react that way. And he set the tone right there and scored 35 points in the first half. 35 points. Set the tone. You kind of knew right then and there the series was over. Even though Portland would go on to tie the series in 4 games, 2-2, Bulls always had control of that series. Then they went up 3-2, took it back home to Chicago. Portland showed the talent that they had, took the 17-point lead, and then the Bulls made the rally to end that fourth quarter. The bench stepped up in the third quarter to begin leading the march, but then Jordan and Pippen brought it home, man. But Jordan set the tone, man, and finished up winning his 2nd consecutive NBA World Championship, 2nd consecutive Finals MVP. And the guy, man, it's awe-inspiring what he did that year versus an all-time great player in Clyde Drexler. But Jordan proved that he was the greatest basketball player on the planet, and it will remain that way for the rest of his career. So I just want to throw that out there. This is JB right here. Until next time, BTB behind the bench.